Hello, ladies and gents. How are you doing? Okay, where's my blue? Here we go. Right, guys, today we're going to look at the last kind of graph, and that's called scatter plots. Now, it looks a little bit similar to what we do in science, but it's not exactly, okay? We're not going to draw a line-based fit, okay? So let me explain the scenario. By the way, I'm going through an example in page 302. And I think it's worthwhile that you open that textbook in page 302. It's exercise 3. Just have a look at it because it's, I'm just going to go through it, okay? And I've written the data, but I didn't really write all the data, okay? So what do we have here? We've got a bunch of petrol stations, and they all have different location ratings. So you might have a petrol station on the N2, you know, like the wind farm, okay, that has a very good location because everyone's going through it. But it might be another petrol station, you know, next to, on the way to Uteneg. There's not as much traffic going through it, so it's not going to have as good location. So basically, we took a whole bunch of petrol stations. In this case, I only wrote some of them, not all of them. And somebody gave them a location rating, a score between 1 to 10, okay? 1 being bad, 10 being great, okay? I didn't write all of it. You can see I stopped after a while. In the textbook, you can count on the rest, okay? And then that's one piece of data, the location rating. Then they also wrote down this volume of sales. So what is volume of sale? I don't know. Maybe it's the amount of money is being made every day, okay? Now, if you look at the textbook, I wrote 50, and the textbook is 50,000. So I just made it a little bit shorter because I didn't want to write 50,000. It would take me too long. So that's probably, I would guess, maybe 50,000 rand a day on that pump. I don't know, okay? So basically, we collected how much money is made in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 petrol stations. And we also wrote a location rating that somebody scored them. And we're trying to find out to see if there's a relationship, just like we do in a lot of science investigation. So just like in science, we have to write down the title, location rating versus volume of sales. Okay, we have to label the axis, location rating. Okay, and here I'll write now volume of sales, and rating doesn't have a unit, but volume of sales needs to have a unit. I'm going to make it up. I'm going to say that's in 1,000 rands. 1,000 rands. In other words, this is 400,000 rand, 250,000 rand. Okay, instead of writing 400,000 to 350,000, you can write it like that. Okay, 1,000 rand. Okay, that's the unit, 1,000 rand. Okay, now what do we do now? Now we plot, just like we do in science. So we look at this point of this little pair. We're looking at pair of data. Location rating is 3, volume of sales 50. Okay, so location rating 3, and I'm going to put the little dot here. Okay, can you see? I'm going to just draw these little lines here. You don't need to draw these lines. Just to show you that it's like that. Okay, I'm not going to do it with the rest. Then you've got 4. When the location rating is 4, the volume is 100. But now this is where science is a big difference. Okay, when we're doing the science investigation, we're going to change that will be the independent variable, and we're going to plot the y variable. But here, it's a little bit different. Now I've got another petrol station. This is a different petrol station. This petrol station has a location rating of 4 and a volume of 100. This one also has a location rating of 4, but the volume of sale is 122. How is that possible? Well, it's a different petrol station. So I'm going to put another dot here, okay, at 120. Okay, obviously if I had graph paper, I'll have to do it accurately, but I don't have it now. And this is something we wouldn't have in science investigation, at least in high school. We don't repeat, we don't draw more than one. Okay, we will just have, for each independent variable, we'll have a y dependent variable. So it's a little bit different. Here, another petrol station with location 4, but now it's 180. So there's another dot here. Okay, I'm going to stand here and just start drawing in 5 and 150. Okay, 5 and 150 is going to be here. 6 and 200. 6 and 200 is there. 6 and 250. Okay, so there's another one with 6, but now it's 250. 6 and 400. Another one 6 with 400 over here. Okay, So obviously, and I will ask you to carry on and doing this exercise on the textbook. Draw it on the textbook. You don't need to copy it. Just draw it on the textbook here. Don't do it in your book. Do it on the textbook. Okay? I'm going to pause now, and I'm going to, yeah, we're going to do some more things in a second. Okay, so you carry on with that exercise, and if you finish that exercise 3, you're probably going to have something that maybe looks like this. Okay? Okay, a whole bunch of plots, but you know, they're all kind of going up, if you know what I mean. Okay, and the question is, how do we describe it in words? What is our conclusion? Because eventually we want to be able to link these two variables. In this case, it was, what was it, the location rating and the volume of the sales. Now, if it was science, we would say, as the volume of as the location rating increase, the volume of the sales increase as well. That's how we try to say in science. But in maths, we learn to use a certain word, which we could also actually use in science. There's nothing wrong with that, but for some reason we don't teach you that. But I want you to use the word correlation, okay? So when you've got a bunch of scatter plots looking like this, it's going up. That means as this increases, that increases as well. We say we have a positive, okay, linear correlation. Just a second, I'm going to pause here. There's somebody at the door. Okay, so when the plots all go up like that, we call it a positive linear correlation. Let me try and explain these 3 words. Correlation means that there's some relationship, okay? So whatever variable here is affected by that. When we're increasing the rating, the volume increases as well. And you can see it, that there's definitely a correlation. They are linked together. Linear, okay, you might have come across that word. Linear means straight line. So a linear graph is a straight line, okay? We can also have correlations which are not linear. Maybe it would be a curve. But for grade 9, we focus mainly on linear. Positive, what does positive mean? Well, in this respect, positive means that it's going up, okay? This positive linear correlation. Because you can see here, for example, there is a correlation. These two are related to each other, okay? It is also linear because it's, it's a straight line. But in this case, we're not going to call it positive linear correlation. I think you will be able to guess, if I asked you if you were here, it's going to be called, what is it going to be called? Correct. It's going to be negative linear correlation. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to think about, there could be also a possibility where all the plots are just going to be all jumbled up like that. What does that mean? Well, that means that actually there's no correlation. There's no correlation, okay? Because for this, for example, petrol station, the low rating is quite low, and the volume is quite low as well. But if I'm just going to add another here, this also has a low rating, but a large sale, okay? This one has a higher rating and a high sale, but this one has even a higher rating and quite low sale. So it seems like in this case, those two variables don't have any effect on each other. So we say there is no correlation. Okay? That's all you need to do. Okay? So it's very easy concept. You just need to practice how to draw these graphs. Take care.